It was a rainy Tuesday evening, and the hum of clinking glasses and soft jazz filled the air inside La Lumiere, one of the most prestigious restaurants in the city. The aroma of grilled salmon and fresh herbs danced through the air, and the waitstaff moved swiftly under the golden lights, everyone except one woman. Her name was Maya, and as she stood near the kitchen door, clutching her worn-out notepad, her eyes looked tired, yet resilient. She had been working double shifts for weeks, trying to pay her younger brother's college fees after their mother's medical bills had drained everything they had left. She'd stopped dreaming long ago. Love, ambition, rest. Those were luxuries she could no longer afford. But that night, something was different. Something was coming that would change everything. Maya didn't know that the man walking through those glass doors in a crisp navy suit, looking powerful, calm and untouchably confident, was the one she once loved more than life itself. And he didn't know that the struggling waitress taking orders in that restaurant he secretly owned was the girl who once held his heart. The restaurant went silent for a moment as the host greeted the VIP guest. Maya glanced up absent-mindedly while collecting empty plates from a table near the entrance. The moment her eyes landed on him, her heart skipped a beat, then another. It couldn't be. Adrian, the name alone sent 1,000 memories crashing back. He was her first love from college, the boy who'd taught her how to dream, how to believe in something beyond survival. They'd made promises once, under the old oak tree behind the university library. But that was years ago, before her father's death, before poverty forced her to drop out, before life hardened her into the woman she'd become. She froze, the tray trembling in her hands. He looked even more refined than she remembered. Broad shoulders, sharp jawline, eyes that once made her feel seen in a world that often ignored her. But now, he looked like someone who belonged to another world entirely. He was escorted to the private section, surrounded by investors and executives. Maya overheard whispers from the staff. "That's Adrian Blackwell, the new CEO. He just bought the place." Her heart sank. The CEO... Fate had a cruel sense of humor. She forced herself to keep working. It wasn't her place to remember the past. People like him didn't look back. And she had too many bills to pay to waste even a second reminiscing about what was lost. But destiny wasn't done yet. When Maya went to serve the private room later that night, she tried to keep her head down, hoping he wouldn't notice her. But as she leaned forward to pour the wine, his gaze caught hers, and time stopped. "Maya?" His voice was soft, uncertain. The glass nearly slipped from her hands. She straightened, eyes wide, throat dry. "Mr. Blackwell," she said mechanically, forcing a polite smile. "Welcome to La Lumiere." He blinked. The name sounded wrong coming from her lips, so distant, so formal. "It's been a long time," he said. She nodded, her voice barely steady. "Yes, sir, it has." For the rest of the evening, she avoided his gaze. But Adrian couldn't take his eyes off her. How could it be that the woman serving his table was the same Maya he had once dreamed of marrying? The same girl who used to laugh at his terrible coffee and talk about opening her own bakery someday? He could see it in her face, the exhaustion, the quiet sadness, but also the same spark, buried deep beneath years of struggle. After his guests left, he asked the manager about her. The manager shrugged. "Maya Carter. Hardworking girl. Tough life. She's been here 6 months. Best waitress we've got." That night, as Maya clocked out, rain pouring outside, she found him waiting by the entrance. "Can I give you a ride?" he asked gently. She hesitated. "You don't have to." "I know," he said. "But I want to." They sat in silence for most of the drive, the rain tapping softly against the car windows. Finally, he spoke. "What happened, Maya?" His voice broke the silence. "You just disappeared." She turned to look out the window. "Life happened, Adrian. My father died. Mom got sick. I couldn't afford school. I took whatever job I could find." She gave a faint, brittle laugh. "Guess this is where dreams end up, carrying plates instead of diplomas." Adrian's hands tightened on the steering wheel. "You don't belong here," he said. "You were meant for more." Her eyes met his, full of quiet fire. You don't get to say that. Not anymore. He exhaled, guilt and regret clouding his features. I looked for you, Maya, for years. I thought you moved on. Maybe I did, she whispered. Maybe I didn't. The next few weeks were strange. Adrian started visiting the restaurant more often, quietly watching her work. He didn't interfere, but he made small gestures. A new uniform policy that gave better pay, free meals for staff, health coverage for their families. Maya noticed but said nothing. She didn't want pity. One evening, she found a small envelope in her locker. Inside was a note. You once dreamed of owning a bakery. Let's make it happen. Tears welled up in her eyes. She went to his office the next day, ready to give it back. I don't need charity, she said firmly. He smiled softly. It's not charity. It's a partnership, she blinked. What? I bought La Lumiere because I wanted to build something meaningful. But you, Maya, you're the reason I ever learned what meaning really is. You taught me what it's like to build something from nothing. I want to help you, not because I pity you, but because I still believe in you. She looked at him for a long time, tears threatening to spill. And what if I fail? He stepped closer, his voice low and steady. Then we fail together. Something broke open inside her then. The wall she had built for years began to crumble. For the first time in a long time, Maya allowed herself to hope again. Months later, the small corner bakery opened. Warm light spilling from its windows, the smell of fresh pastries welcoming every passerby. Above the door, in elegant cursive, was written, Maya's Hope. The grand opening was packed. Adrian stood quietly in the back, watching her laugh with customers, her apron dusted with flour, her eyes shining brighter than they ever had before. As the evening ended, she walked over to him, smiling. You kept your promise, she said softly. He shook his head. No, he replied, eyes full of warmth. You kept yours. She looked around at the bakery, the people, the life she'd built from ashes, and for the first time in years, Maya believed that maybe second chances were real after all, and as the city lights flickered outside, one truth lingered in the air like the scent of freshly baked bread.